you find out life's this game of inches. So is football. Because in either game, life or football, the margin for error is so small. I mean, one half a step too late or too early, and you don't quite make it. 1/2 second too slow, too fast, you don't quite catch it. The inches we need are everywhere around us.
Welcome into the Gibson Fantasy Football Podcast. Joined by my man A-Aron. How are you today now?
I'm doing good, second half of baseball season starting up. So you know what that means? Just so much closer to that kickoff of the sweet NFL.
We are here on Friday, July 22nd. And the further into July we get, the closer training camp is. Veterans are starting to report to training camp. And by this time next week, all veterans will have reported to training camp. So, oh me, oh my, it's about to get real here.
Absolutely. Bring those hard hats.
That's right. And we've got some, there've been a couple interesting news pieces that we'll throw out just before we jump in here. So if you want to look for us, we are here. GibsonFantasyFootball.com is the website. Gibson_FF on Twitter. And Gibson Fantasy Football, all one word, on Instagram, YouTube, Podbean, and Spotify. First update is a very personal one. I'd like to welcome my newest jersey, aka Russell Wilson. See by the shoulder here. Just throw that up there. But came with plenty of time to spare before the season gets rolling. So I'll be repping that on the podcast from now onward. And it's going to get many Sunday, Monday, Thursdays worth of usage with maybe a wash between Sunday, Monday, or maybe not. We'll see.
Oof. I hope so. This is many washes because that winning streak is not going to happen. So
yeah. If I don't wash it till they lose, then who knows, man? Could be a long streak with the way those Broncos are set up.
I got my lucky Raider underwear on, so hopefully they go on a bit of a streak.
There you go.
No puns intended.
That's what you want. All right, so the only other piece of news that I think is worth just sort of throwing out there casually is Mr. Kyler Murray went and signed himself a beautiful contract that, makes sense for both sides. The Cardinals needed to take their disgruntled young 20-year-old who was removing them from social media and causing all sorts of distractions. And they need to get him paid.
Yeah.
Contract's huge. You can look further if you want to find the details. But he ends up being the second highest annual average paid behind only Aaron Rodgers and the second most guaranteed money behind only Deshaun Watson. So pretty impressive numbers when you're comparing him to the company of elite quarterbacks in the NFL.
He's got a lot to live up to, that's for sure. It's got to be a big season for him. So Arizona's putting everything in on Kyler Murray. So
yeah, for a guy who's 0-1 in the playoffs and been sort of lackluster in the big moments, he's agreeably, like you said, he's got a lot to prove here. So we'll see if that contract ends up worthwhile, but you can't let a guy like that slip away.
Nope.
I mean, I know he was under contract, but God forbid you got to deal with a holdout or your season gets off to a poor start. You already got Hopkins out for 6 games, so it's just a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
One thing I'll throw out there too, I was looking at the contracts and I'm sitting there and I was thinking, man, when Mahomes got signed to that crazy deal of like $300 million, 10 years, I was like, every time a new quarterback signs, their deal's worth more, like their current average is worth more than Mahomes. And I'm thinking to myself, the Chiefs were brilliant. Like, lock him up for 10 years, knowing that with the cap going up and the average salary going up, it sounded like a lot then, but I think it's going to end up being a steal as we progress through the deal here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll probably see Mahomes come off the board today because it is draft time. Even Toby's excited. I can hear him in the background getting amped up.
Trying to mute him out, but It's not quick enough on the mute, so I apologize.
Hey, can't put a muzzle on him, man. He's excited. He loves football just like the rest of us. So we're keeping it fairly simple today. Probably the standard is you would say a half PPR, one quarterback draft. We're keeping it short in terms of amount of players. So just going to be 11 rounds, one quarterback, 2 wide receiver, 2 running back, a tight end, 2 flex, and 3 bench. So no kicker, no defense, and not a deep bench, so that it doesn't drag on forever here, right? You want to kind of see what the money picks are in those first 11 rounds, and then from there, it's kind of taking flyers at that point. So we'll talk through some of the picks as we go through, and we have strategically pushed everyone far apart. So Dawn is also joining us, a sleeper, but she won't be available via screen or audio, which means that we can be critical of her picks and she cannot defend herself. And she cannot be critical of our picks. So it's just going to be you and me knocking each other's picks, but we'll post all 3 rosters at the end when we go to put it up on Twitter and the website, and people can make any critiques or thoughts on who they thought drafted the best team, which will inevitably be this guy.
Yeah.
We'll
I
see.
can't draft my kicker, though, Harrison Buckner.
Yeah, and Don can't draft Young Hoku, so I'm the only one who's not upset about it. So Dawn's going to be kicking us off. She's got the 101. I'm going to be right in the middle, which from a lot of mock drafts I've done is not really a nice place to be, but so be it. And you're wrapping us up. So you'll each be making double picks every round, and I'll be hoping for players to come back to me playing the ADP game, which is a frightening but necessary process here. So
yeah,
let's pull up the draft board. And let's get that as big as we can get it. There we go. It's pretty visible.
I can see it.
You can see it. Okay.
I also noticed your icon is a Bronco, and I don't like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's not really designed for your pleasure. This is not a ribbed latex condom. It's really about me here.
I got to change mine. I got to figure this out.
All right. You ready to start the draft?
Let's do it.
Oh,
It
the
has
draft
begun.
has started.
Now, trash talk is always encouraged in any fantasy league.
Whoa.
Whoa, we're getting them in. We're getting them in.
How come I don't see it? Do you see it?
Oh, yeah.
It's not showing here on the share. Oh, there it goes. It's just taking
You're on the clock.
Okay. It's going to take a second. There'll probably be a slight delay. So let's just talk through. So we unexpectedly, Don took Jonathan Taylor, right?
Yep.
Christian McCaffrey unexpectedly went next. Eckler and Henry, I might have swapped those picks, but I get it. Eckler had an amazing season. He's on a great offense, more pass catching upside. Then Henry, and then Kupp as the first wide receiver, which not really a surprise there either. So it sets me up where I could, I love Justin Jefferson, which I do. I could go him here if I wanted to get a running back with my first pick. I also like fellow Viking Dalvin Cook. Some people are pretty big on Najee or Mixon or even Swift. So, I think I like the idea of grabbing a running back early. And I think he still has a top 5 season in him. I know health is going to be the concern here, but I'm going to take my chances on Dalvin Cook here. Okay, so we'll wait for it to catch up before it gets to you. It's going to take a second.
That's a pretty fair pick.
And
it's caught
load. Well, it's caught up on here, but it's not caught up on the screen quite yet here.
Yeah. No,
Come on now.
Second.
Just takes a second, eh? There we go. Okay, so after him went Mixon, as I talked about, Jefferson and Chase, who I think, are right up there with Kupp. I don't actually mind either one of those, even particularly Jefferson. I think you would take him over Kupp if you really were that strong about it. Najee, like I said, was kind of in that class with Mixon and Swift. And then Adams actually goes, so you get a 4th wide receiver before any of those running backs. So, I
Yeah.
mean, that's kind of intriguing. I mean, from your perspective, top wide receivers, probably Diggs, unless you really like CeeDee Lamb. So, if you're leaning that way, all the tight ends and quarterbacks are still there. In my opinion, too early for a quarterback. You could make a case for maybe Mark Andrews or Travis Kelce if you were bullish on them, but certainly some great options at running back with Swift, Chubb, and
Yeah.
then some interesting other ones like Kamara, who were don't sure about the suspension, and guys who have question marks like Barkley and Javante and Jones and Fournette and Zeke. So curious to see where your brain's at here.
Yeah. I was liking the two running backs pick that I was thinking of here. So definitely going to take a running back because they're just so valuable for fantasy. So uh, between Nick Chubb and Swift, I'm going to go with Chubb because I just feel like um, with the most likely with what's his name sitting out for most of the season or for whatever part of the season, they're going to be a running team. So that's why I like Nick Chubb there.
Fair enough.
Uh, I was thinking two wide running backs, like I was just saying before. I was thinking two running backs, but now most of those top running backs have been selected. So I think I'm going to go with wide receiver. And I like my boy Diggs, just that Buffalo offense. So I'm going to have to go with Diggs.
I don't mind that, honestly. I mean, I think Diggs is definitely right up there.
Yeah.
He's a little undervalued. I think he could easily have a season just like any of those top four wide receivers that went ahead of him. Unsurprisingly, CeeDee Lamb next. Travis Kelce, you kind of figure has to go at some point here. I don't think he's that much better than Mark Andrews this year, so I wouldn't, I take the values on Andrew. Josh Allen, who's locked in as the QB1. I don't think too many people would dispute that, is there. Saquon and Swift, I would have considered Swift where you were at, but I see why you thought, Diggs is the better value because Diggs and maybe Lamb is kind of the end of a tier, but definitely, lots of running backs here. So I'm lined up. I could go Andrews if I felt inclined to grab a tight end early, which was always nice. Then you kind of lock that up, and you don't have to mess about that for the whole year. The receivers that are here, Hill, Debo, AJ Brown, none of them stand out to me. Kamara, I'm nervous about the suspension, although I'm not sure it's actually going to pan out, but I also don't know how that offense is going to look. Javante, I mean, I love as a Bronco, but this might be a touch early. Love Aaron Jones. That's probably if I'm going running back. So I think for me, it's between Aaron Jones and Mark Andrews. And who am I going to go with? Oh, this is a tough one. I think ADP wise, the computer's likely to let Aaron Jones fall. And so it's really about if Don takes him. So I think he's pretty
15
low,
seconds.
So I'm going to grab Andrews here and we'll see how that works out for me. All right. So Hill went, Kamara went, Debo went. Oh, team two stole Aaron Jones right before Don could. That hurts. Took a risk
Nice.
there.
That's a nice duel there, McCaffrey and Jones. That's been your duo in our fantasy league. So
No, that makes me sad. That's a beautiful duo to have. So, I mean, we'll see now what Dawn has in store for us. She grabbed JT early, so running backs are going to start to thin out. Got Javante, you got Fournette, you got Zeke, you got Connor, Akers, and then it's kind of a wishy-washy after that. Montgomery, Brees Hall. You definitely get a pretty quick drop-off. Still some pretty solid receivers. AJ Brown, I really like Mike Evans, actually. That might be.
That team 5 is interesting. 2 picks of wide receivers of right.
You can almost guarantee a running back's going to get picked here.
Yeah.
Don going with Kyle Pitts early. I kind of like that. I mean, I think it's a bit of a projection over like Waller and Kittle, but I see the upside versus maybe those guys. But a little early. But in her spot, though, he's probably not coming back to her at the 412. So I guess if you want him, you got to take him.
Good tight end does a lot for you. So, I mean.
Andrews and Kelce are gone, so she's probably thinking, who do I want next, right? So I'm trying to just eye up the board and see. I wouldn't mind if Javante made it to me. I
I hope
would. I'd like Evans to get to me. I'm thinking I might lean that direction. If he's not there, then I'm probably going running back.
if
But I'd
Weller.
consider Javante, Fournette, Zeke, and Connor as kind of the 4 running backs I quite like at this point.
Yeah, if Weller can
Don's
make it,
running out of time.
I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, that'd be nice for you, to grab him with one of those 2. Oh, she listened to me, man. Look, all my people.
Oh,
Evans and Javante and Fournette.
Holmes.
Mahomes goes. Man, that team went wide receiver again.
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah, that's.
I mean,
It's a
I love
bold move.
Cup, but Hill's he's due for regression. AJ Brown's due for regression, so I don't love the start there. But and team 2, the opposite, man. McCaffrey, Jones, and Javante. That's a beautiful trio, but goddamn, man, that hurt, man. That hurt.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
So Evans is gone. Don't love. I mean, T. Higgins is probably my favorite, but I think I'd rather have the elite back here. And I'm pretty bullish on James Conner. I know he had like 18 rushing touchdowns last year, and that number's going to drop. But I just think in that offense, it's his role. He's going to have some pass catching. I really like him for fantasy this year, so I'm going to grab him, and I'll hold off on the receivers because there are plenty that I quite like still available. There goes Keenan. There goes Zeke, Montgomery, Deontay, T. Higgins right before you. Would have been a nice.
Actually, wouldn't have mind of taking him, eh?
Yeah. So, I mean, Waller's still there. You got your choice. I mean, whether you're going to grab him with pick 1 or pick 2, he's an option. Running backs, you're down to guys like Cam Akers, Breece Hall, Gibson, Etienne, Dobbins, lots of guys with question marks.
Yes.
You have 1, but it's not a bad idea to get 2 because somebody's, you're going to have to wait a while. Wide receivers, you got guys like McLaurin, DK Metcalf, Jalen Waddle's a nice one, Michael Pittman's an upside, DJ Moore, the Broncos receivers, Mike Williams. What are you thinking here? You thinking Waller and somebody, or?
I am. I'm thinking Waller. I like guys of consistency, and that's obviously everybody wants that in fantasy because it doesn't always guarantee you to win in weeks, but I always feel like it gives you the best shot of making playoffs at the end of the year.
Sure.
So I always like guys that are going to be consistent within the offense. So I'm going to go with Weller because I just feel like he's going to be consistent on that offense.
Sure.
And he already connects with Carr, so I like that. And he's a Raider, so I got to
full homer pick there.
Man, the running backs thin out right now, and it's
scary, man, to wait, right? Like you look at the next 6 or 7, and if they start to go, then you're into like Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Damian Harris, Miles Sanders, Kenneth Walker, AJ. They're good, but I don't know. I mean, you could wait it out. If you really like a wide receiver here, you could look for the value. But what are you thinking?
Those receivers may get back to me, so I'm going to go with Cam Akers.
Ooh,
for this one.
Okay, going Akers. So Kittle went, Herbert went as the 3rd quarterback, which is kind of intriguing, right? Kind of interesting to see whether it would be Burrow or whether it would be, Brady or Russ or, Trey Lance is going to go at some point. But, and then Dobbins, Hall, Etienne. So, I mean, I got 2 pretty solid running backs. I do love my boy Gibson, but not tremendously more than the other options. I probably due to get a receiver here.
Mm-hmm.
And is my wide receiver 1? Man, there are some players I really like, but which one? Terry McLaurin's awesome. I'm just scared of that Carson Wentz. DK Metcalf, I don't know who the heck's going to be throwing the ball. Love Jalen. It's between Jalen Waddle and Michael Pittman for me.
I was thinking
I really love. So
yeah, I was thinking Waddle before.
I really like him.
I just think Miami's going to have a good season. They started off last year horrible, and then they just picked it up. And
I like Pittman too, though. Man, this is a tough one for me, but I got to pick one of them. All right. I am going to go with Pittman because he's the one on his team, even though it might be a worse passing team. I don't think Waddle's coming back by any means, but ooh,
Oh, you know who's going to take him?
yeah, she's going to snipe me again, man. So Lamar would have been another one, right? Could have been. I actually like Lamar a lot this year. I think he's in for a big year because they can't pass as much, which means he's going to run. She loves Kyler Murray. That's no shocker. So
Oh, yeah.
no surprise there.
It's a good choice. It's a good choice.
She's done real good on diversity here. She's got one of every position. So, I mean, it's curious to see where does she want to double up first. Other guys that went after us, Gibson, I talked about being the next best running back, and then kind of a bunch of options that you could jump in on. And then McLaurin and DK, which is thanks to their ADP being higher on Sleeper. So thank you, Sleeper, for that. So yeah, if she's looking running back, she's looking at Jacobs, Mitchell, CEH, and then Harris, Sanders, Walker. I'd probably be taking one of those three if I was going to go that route. Maybe I'd probably take Mitchell. She goes Jacobs. Oh, Judy and Waddle and Hollywood and Sutton.
Oh, yeah, that's
so many good options. I hate the 6th spot, man. It's so hard. You get sniped on either side here, but okay. So I have my tight end. I have 2 running backs. I have 1 wide receiver. I have no interest in a quarterback quite yet. I like Elijah Mitchell. Probably be my favorite running back, but I think I'd rather grab a wide receiver here. I like 2 of them in particular. DJ Moore's a really good, consistent receiver, and he did get Baker, which is certainly an upgrade from Darnold. Obviously, it's not like getting Russell Wilson. Thank you, Broncos. But, definitely better than Sam Darnold. And then I like Mike Williams. He's got big upside. I don't have any Chargers, so not too worried on that end of things. But I'm thinking I'm going to go DJ Moore here. I think he's my guy I like a little more than Mike Williams. He'll be good, but he's going to be inconsistent. So I think I'm going to lock that down with my man DJ Moore here.
All right.
There goes Mike Williams right after Cooper, Schultz, Harris, and Edwards. So interesting to you. So there are some running backs. My man Elijah Mitchell, who I like, Sanders. So you've got 2, and then you could grab a receiver here. You've got your tight end. I mean, if you're thinking quarterback, which you could, we're coming into round 6 here. You got Burrow, Hurts, Prescott, Wilson, Brady, Rodgers, Stafford, Lance. I don't know if one of those stands out much more than the others, but
I feel like usually I am picking higher for quarterbacks. That's the way that I've always picked. So, but I'm going to change it up this time around because we're doing this for fun. So,
yeah,
and so I'm going to take a wide receiver and running back in this 2 spots. So, just who to go with is the question. I do like
interesting
Mitchell as a running back. I think
he stands out above the others.
Yeah, so I'm going
to go. Unless you're a believer in Sanders, but I like Mitchell there. I think that's a good, and he's nice because you've already got Chubb and Akers, so Mitchell will play in there nicely. It's your flex spot.
Yeah,
but yeah, I would agree. Grabbing another wide receiver is a good move here. You got Chris Godwin, but you're going to be waiting a while, so that's not necessarily who you want as your wide receiver too. Allen Robinson, a little more exciting on the Rams now. Brandon Cooks, just so steady. That's obviously a nice one there.
Mm-hmm.
Amon-Ra St. Brown, Adam Thielen. I wouldn't touch Michael Thomas, Darnell Mooney. You get into some of the rookies.
Adam Thielen, that's years previous. He's done really well, right? I mean, but
it's just age and health, man. That's the scary part, right?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go St. Brown.
Oh, going with it. I like that. Yeah. I think that's a good upside pick there. I was really hoping Hurts would make it to me. I was going to take Jalen Hurts here. I was thinking that was a bit the spot that I'd be willing to grab him was this round. But so Burrow and Hurts both go, which makes me even less inclined to grab a quarterback.
Yeah.
I might grab Russ on the way back if he makes it. We'll see. I have my tight end. I've got 2 running backs, 2 receivers. I don't differentiate that much on the running backs here between Sanders, Walker, Dillon, Hunt. That's probably a tier break, but I'm going to hope one of those 4 gets back. I quite like Brandon Cooks to be a nice consistency guy, which is kind of built into my team here. You've got a lot of consistency guys and then some upside with Connor and Cook. So I think I'm going to grab Cooks here as my my go-to. I think that's my play. I'm going to play the ADP game a bit too because there's a couple of receivers I like, but they're lower ranked. So I'll grab Cooks and see what happens. There goes Dylan and Sanders. Thielen goes. So we're over to Dawn. Dawn's got 2 running backs, a tight end, a quarterback. So she's probably going to go wide receiver on one of her picks.
Mm-hmm.
Could go both wide receivers. Could go running back and wide receiver. Running back options: Walker, Hunt, Patterson, Pollard, Singletary, Edmonds, Penny. I just wouldn't touch Michael Thomas, but then some rookies. Hopkins is out the first 6 games. I think it's a little early to grab him.
Gabriel Davis. I wouldn't. I'd pick up him right now.
That's who I'm playing the ADP game on. That's who I'm hoping comes back to me.
I saw that and I was like, oh, he's going for him because he's been
That's who I want
all year.
Oh, man. Here we go. She went with the rookie Drake London. That's a fun pick. Grabbing a Falcon. I don't know that I would have done that, though. She already got Pitts. So that is a lot of commitment to the Atlanta offense.
Yeah.
Got the Atlanta offense. I mean, God forbid she grabs Cordell Patterson later, but see if she goes running back here then, because she's got 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, or if she grabs another one. Whoa, a second quarterback.
That's interesting. I wonder if she knows.
Maybe she doesn't realize that we need to.
Yeah.
Anyway. So, I mean, we talked about it. The remaining running backs, I do like Kareem Hunt. He would be a nice one to have. But I'm so bullish on Gabe Davis that I cannot pass him here. That's I will be sad if he doesn't get back right. So that's an easy one for me. There goes Hunt. I like Devonta Smith. Lockett, man. Oh, it's so tough on DK and Lockett with not knowing who the quarterback is. Like, if you were to tell me that Jimmy G was going to come there, I'd be much more excited. But scary times, man.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of wide receivers. Rashad Bateman, Juju. We lost Burks. Hopkins went. So interesting for that team. That, you know, they'll be good when he comes back, but it's going to take a while. Going to miss the first 7 weeks of fantasy. So you're here. You got 1 extra running back. You're still in need of a quarterback. I don't know if you're thinking that now. You've got 4.
Here's one for you.
Ooh, interesting. Yeah.
I like it there. I don't mind it.
I don't mind it. I don't mind the shot on him, but I just think with Kittle and Debo taking up the new targets, like most of the targets, and Lance coming in as a quarterback who doesn't throw a lot. You also already had Elijah Mitchell, so you've certainly invested yourself in the 49ers.
I
It's
did.
always something to watch for, right? It's so easy to lose track of that in the draft.
I did lose just track of that, and I was trying to stay away from it.
It's okay.
But
Don's got 2 quarterbacks, so you know that's already.
Yeah.
She's already done some strange things for us here.
I'm going to go for quarterback this round. Late in the draft. There's a few guys still out here, though. I mean,
I see. Yeah, I mean, Russ, Brady, Rodgers, Stafford, Lance.
But
probably early for Carr Cousins. They'll probably make it back, but.
Yeah, I feel like they're going to start getting taken.
Got 8 off the board. We got 5 teams, including me and you, who don't have a quarterback.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with
4 teams, actually.
Russ Wilson.
You fucker. I was going to go grab him if he made it back. And there was Brady. Not that I was necessarily pining to grab him, but.
Yeah.
Right, so. Do I need? I mean, you probably could use to grab a running back, even though my core is pretty solid here. And there's some fun options that I think I'm going to wait it out on the running back here. Because there's a couple of guys I really am keen on here. Particularly one. And quarterbacks, I mean, I don't like Rodgers or Stafford all that much. I'm probably going to wait and see if I can sneak Lance with the upside.
Oh, okay.
So, all right, this is the wide receiver that stands out to me. I know he got, high draft capital guy drafted there, but I'm still a believer in Elijah Moore for the Jets there.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Garrett Wilson went not long after. We're finishing up some tight ends here. Luckily, me, you, and Don are all taken care of on that department. And then, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, the rookies, over to Dawn. Hopefully she doesn't at least pick another quarterback, but she could use a running back or a wide receiver or one of each, a couple of each, whatever she prefers here.
It's tough on the tight ends when you really think about it. After like the top 7 or top 5 guys go, it's kind of just like a toss-up.
Yeah. I like Irv Smith as a deep pick on a tight end. I don't mind Knox or Goddard, but I'm not as big on them there. I'd rather wait and just grab somebody even later.
I like the Penny pick.
Me too.
I
think he's the guy, man. I don't think Walker's taking that job yet.
Yeah. You know what? I wish I had taken him over.
Lance got taken. God damn it.
That's a good pick.
They went as a second quarterback. Mahomes, man. Like, come on. Really? Buggers. Chase Edmonds was somebody I was eyeballing. Well, I mean, I'm probably going to keep waiting now. So now I'm looking at, I don't love Stafford. Don't mind Carr. Kind of like Cousins a bit. He'd be throwing the ball to Dalvin Cook, which is okay. I don't mind Tua even to kind of grab him and pair him up. I don't know that. No. Man, hey. What's going on in the running back world? Okay. Okay, I think I'm going to go. There's no quarterback I'm in love with, so I'm not going to force the pick yet. I'm going to grab the Ramondre Stevenson, the running back from the Pats, in hopes that he takes on a bigger role this year behind Damian Harris.
Okay.
Stafford went next. They doubled him up with Brady, which is a strange thing to do. Christian Watson, rookie for Green Bay. Zach Ertz, second tight end. Strange, but hey.
Woods taking 2 quarterbacks.
I thought about Melvin Gordon. I don't mind that pick. I mean, I think if he takes on a decent role with Javonte there like he did last year, he's a good upside pick. So you're looking down, you got 3 running backs, you got 3 wide receivers, you got 1 tight end, you got 1 quarterback. I mean, you can pretty much go anywhere. I would anticipate you don't really need a second quarterback or tight end given how shallow of a roster we're growing. So
no, I'm not going to go with no, it's good. I'm looking at the running back right now.
Carter is the backup. You got Spiller as the backup. Pierce, who could take the job in that Houston backfield. Rojo, who could challenge for CAH. James Robinson, I'm scared of his health. Madison's just purely an insurance back behind Cook. Rashad White could take on some work. Algier could win in the Atlanta backfield. Hines maybe is a guy behind Taylor. Yeah, I don't know what your thoughts are here.
I'm thinking Mike Carter.
Okay.
Carter.
Is that your that'll be your first Jet. So
yeah, I haven't picked a Jet. Who knows if that? I can't believe I am picking a Jet, but
I mean, Breece Hall is gonna be the guy, but it could take some time. And Michael Carter may still have some passing work. And I mean, he's your 4th running back, so it's not like playing him. You have to play him.
Picking bench right now. I'm taking it. So
technically, we are onto our 3 bench. So I mean, you're looking at guys who might impress, right?
If I had to take a rookie, if you're in a deep draft, obviously we're just kind of doing a quicker one. But if you're in a deep draft, let's take a rookie. So I'm looking at the rookies right now. Lots of running back rookies, a few wide receivers, and I think we're going to take a risk on Sky Moore.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Attaching to Mahomes.
I want to see you take a rookie either this round or next round.
Okay.
Let's say that this is a deep draft. And
so Carr went, who I liked. I didn't love much more than the other options. Fryermuth, that's another great pick there. That is my favorite, even over Herb Smith. But I love that pick. Lazard's a good one. Lazard, Cook, Kirk, and Gage were 3 receivers I was considering. Could probably use a running back here or my quarterback. Who's left for quarterback? So Cousins is probably the tier break for me. I think after that you're into Fields, who I don't trust the Bears. You could go with the Tua breakout. I kind of like that actually, but I think I'll take old reliable Cousins. Passing the ball to Cook, take a risk on this Vikings offense, taking a step forward, and see what happens, and maybe stream the position if I find some upside players here. So, all right, give me Kirk Cousins, and I'll grab a fun rookie on the way back here.
There's been quite a few rookies taken, right?
Kadarius Toney would have been a good pick. That's somebody I'm invested in as well. But I'll grab a rookie. But Jameson Williams, injury for it'll be fun for Detroit. Mike Gesicki, that guy. They waited on their tight end. I don't really believe in Gesicki all that much, but they did get him pretty late. Dawn's got her final 2 picks, probably running back and wide receiver, maybe one of each, maybe 2 of one or the other, but probably one of them should be a wide receiver with only 3 on the board there.
I mean, team 2s, they got quite the running back situation. They got a lot of question marks around their wide receivers. I think Jerry Jeudy's probably one of their more standout.
Yeah,
I mean, only because DJ Metcalf doesn't have the quarterback.
Yeah, him and Thielen have some risk. Thomas has health issues. They grabbed Olave and Thomas, who are both on the same team, so that's a choice. What about Gallup coming back from injury? When is the question? Glad I didn't wait on Tua or Cousins because they both would have been gone. And she grabbed a rookie, actually, the Chargers, Isaiah Spiller, who has some upside. Damian Pierce went, Cole Kmet, so that person waited to the final round for their tight end. And that's a pretty good late round tight end to grab. So if we're looking at some fun rookies, I like Rachaad White is an option from the Bucks who could have some upside. Actually like Jahan Dodson for Washington too. I don't mind that. He might have some upside. George Pickens is a bit further down. It could be between Dodson and Rachaad White is the 2 that I'm intrigued by. And if I look at my team, probably better to take a shot at running back because it's unlikely that Dodson's going to outplay those 5. So, all right, I'll go Rachaad White and I'll take a flyer on him then as a rookie that maybe has some work behind Fournette. All right, Hunter Henry, Rojo, Algier, Madison, Alberto Cuevanon. Over to you for the last pick of the draft.
If I didn't already take Sky Moore, I may have taken I can't even pronounce his name, Marquise.
Who? Sorry?
Scantling.
Oh, Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
Yeah, I would have probably taken him if I didn't take Sky Moore.
That's fair.
But Tyler Boyd is still out there.
Third option for the Bengals, but you don't have a Bengal, and I mean he's going to get some games from Joe Burrow. Price slots in ahead of Moore for you most weeks, and if Ayuk chokes, then he's not a bad wide receiver 3 behind Diggs and St. Brown because your running backs are pretty strong.
Yeah,
you got a solid wide receiver tight end, so I think going running wide receiver is probably the move for you.
Don't have a Bengal already on my team either. I don't think so. So yeah, we'll go Tyler
Boyd. That's fair. That was an aggressive yell to end the draft. Okay, so there it is. So we'll publish that later on here when we post it on the website and social media. But thoughts on your team here? Your initial impression of kind of how it all went?
Yeah, I think I definitely probably should have stayed away from
Ayuk.
2 San Fran guys. Yeah. I kind of just was looking at names at that point. So, but yeah, it's all right. Usually I'm different with my quarterbacks. I'm usually selecting quarterbacks fairly early. So
yeah,
I've usually had I don't know though. Russell Wilson, he's been pretty consistent in fantasy at least. So
Top 12, man. Like every year he's played healthy. So
yeah,
I
so
think he's got top 10, maybe even top 5 upside, depending on how good that offense is. So I like that. I don't mind Waller. I think he's a good, you grabbed him as the 4th tight end, so that's pretty nice. Akers and Chubb and Mitchell and Carter. It's a pretty formidable group. You don't really need much out of that. Probably your wide receivers is where you're most vulnerable, I would say.
yeah.
Amazing. But then after that, you got, St. Brown, who should have a good year, Ayuk, who's hopeful, and then a rookie in Tyler Boyd, who, Tyler Boyd will be a good floor play.
Yeah.
He's probably not going to win you too many weeks, but
no, I'd say
fifth
that's
option, probably a 4th ahead of Sky Moore most weeks.
my pretty weakest position there is wide receiver.
Yeah, I feel pretty good. I like Dalvin Cook and James Conner as my workhorses. I think they could both wind up in the top 5, so that's pretty sweet. I like Andrews. I see him as the tight end 1 with Kelsey there. Pittman, Moore, Cooks, Davis, and Moore is a nice 5-pack there that I don't think I'll have a problem getting 4 decent options on a weekly basis and getting real consistency. Cousins is probably my weak point, right? I waited a long time to get a quarterback. And so when I'm looking at stacking up against other teams, like Kyler Murray for Don, Lamar for team 3, Mahomes for team 4, Fields and Tua I could compete with, Rodgers I could compete with, Brady Stafford, maybe a little worse. Hurts, I'm outdone. Allen, I'm outdone. Herbert, Burrow, and even Wilson. So, I'm outdone by most people at the quarterback position, but we'll see. Maybe Cousins has a better season than we expect, or I go grab somebody fun off the waiver wire if he doesn't work out. All right. Any final thoughts before I stop the screen share and throw up the socials one last time?
No, it'd be a heck of a season to see if we played this out. So I'm glad we're not.
Yeah, just
you guys that I like that. It's kind of hoping, Gabriel Davis. When I saw him there, I was kind of hoping that he was going to slip, but oh wow. Oh
yeah. All right. Well, if you are looking to find us, GibsonFantasyFootball.com, Gibson_FF on Twitter, Gibson Fantasy Football, all one word, Instagram, YouTube, Podbean, Spotify. We will post this on the website and socials with a list of all of our teams, and you can weigh in and see who you think has the best team and picks you liked or didn't like. And hopefully between our sort of back and forth conversations and watching this, it gives you some idea as to where all of these players are going and what that represents, so you can start to prepare. And we'll do another one of these next month when we get a little closer to draft season to see then kind of how the ADP's changed and where are we at.
Give me another shot.
Grab a tight or a quarterback a little earlier next time and see how that goes.
First pick.
Give me Josh Allen.
Allen.
See where you wind up in terms of the picks. You took the 12. I didn't enjoy the 6th spot. I feel like I got sniped several times.
Yeah.
After, like, your way was okay going towards you, but on the way back coming from Don there, that was rough. Anyway, feel free to leave us some comments, and please subscribe and like the podcast. And until next time, clear eyes, full heart. Can't lose.